And I do believe you could be successful, but to make it to your height, look at everybody that's ever made it to the top of their career. They usually have a wife.
Alrighty, so I have Mingo Shaver, and he is entering into an industry that is wide renowned. He's probably been on one of your YouTube channels. I can only imagine all of the great amount of content that he's produced on, different platforms. So Mingo, tell a little bit about GMT.
So GMT Media is my media company that I started. I started roughly a year and a half ago. Was able to start with 0 subscribers and get it up to 43,000 subscribers in a year. And thousands of views. I'm at like over 400,000 views. So it's taking off in a year.
So tell us how many viewers, or tell us the foundation of GMT.
It really started with me just having conversations in the house, right? So when I started off with doing reactions. People telling me like, hey, you talk all the time about relationships and dating. Why don't you start a YouTube channel? So I did. And when I did, I started off doing reactions about just different videos.
So reactions, for those who don't necessarily know what reactions are, you're on the other side of social media. Tell them exactly what reactions are.
So reactions are when you take other people's videos and you just react to them. So you speak on your thoughts and you create your own content off of their content.
And that's a whole social model there within itself. So that's how you started off.
That's how I started off, yes.
And so from there, you did what?
So from there, after I started panels, so I started having 10 people panels where we just allowed people to have
in one environment, you all just have 10 panels. Was it an audience?
So it was, you know what StreamYard is? So it was in the boxes, so we pretty much, you could be anywhere in the world and join our panel. So we started having people from all over the country joining the panel.
Got it. So wow. So you use Streamboxing. Okay. So from that, you begin to expand and add more people into the conversations. And not only was the panel kind of reaction based, but y'all also had, I'm pretty sure, thought-provoked conversations. What type of conversations were in that mix?
Ooh, we went relationships. We got into it about the Black community and why we're not together. And I'm very solution-based. So my biggest thing was, okay,
we need to solve a problem.
Right. If we laid out the problem, how can we fix it? So that's where it came from.
Got it. So then we went from reactions to a broader dynamic of production and producing content. And now where are you now? Because you have Meet to Marry, so I know you all probably can look it up right now on YouTube and see all of the amazing work that they've done there for Meet to Marry. But tell us a little bit about it. Was that the next step?
So that was the next step for me. I always wanted to give something where I can give back to the community. So what better than dating and marriage? What better than getting people together intentionally? So when I came up with the idea, I brought it to my wife and we said, let's just go full force. And ever since then, it's really taken off for us. Like I'm surprised on how big it got.
So you've been married for how many years?
So we've been married for, don't quote me, it's been like 9 years now.
Oh,
and we've been together for 15 years.
I got it. So was this like an inclusive thing with you and your wife, or was it something that you just struck interest in and then ran with it and she just supported? What did that dynamic look like?
So really the idea came to me in a dream.
In a dream?
Yeah.
You see?
Came to me in a dream. And
write them dreams down.
Exactly. I woke up in the morning, I wrote it down. I wrote down the idea.
Because you felt something, it was like okay.
And as soon as I got the idea, I wrote it down, and it was history after that. I brought it to my wife.
And what did she say?
My wife was like, yo, let's do it. I'm on board.
How important is it to have a supportive spouse?
It's one of the, I don't think anyone could truly be at their height without having the support.
Wow. Yeah. It's like the catapult to being able to pursue your passions, your goals, your desire, your God-given desires and talents. Wow.
And I do believe you could be successful, but to make it to your height, look at everybody that's ever made it to the top of their career. They usually have a wife.
So we can talk like this because it's production based, but when was your big break? Or do you feel like you're still breaking?
I feel like I'm still breaking.
Okay.
I feel like I'm still working my way to where I want to be. So every day I wake up and it's another grind for me. Every day I wake up and it's another action on how I could get to that level. And I just pursue something every day. I have a checklist that I do every morning. and I make sure I check off the boxes by the end of the night.
I love that. So you're still breaking. Earlier you spoke about your target state. Tell the people where you see yourself in one of your inspired, admirable, mentors out there, because you mentioned his name. I want to give him some light here.
I'm
on
not
the
gonna
pod.
lie, I see myself making Tyler Perry status. Tyler Perry, I'm after you.
Tyler Perry, tap in. All right, so we talked. You gave some clues and tips into how to really emerge into the YouTube. A wise man once told me that YouTube isn't social content. YouTube is actually a search engine. Talk more about that.
YouTube itself is completely different than any other platform that you could be on. It has way more to do with how good are you at holding an audience. And if you're good at capturing an audience, you can create YouTube content. So it's way more of a search engine. It's Google, right? So how you can be found on Google by creating a certain type of content, that's what YouTube is. So once you understand that, I believe you could be successful.
Yeah, and I want to get it right. A wise man once told me that YouTube isn't a social content or social platform. It is a search engine. And you know what? I see that to be true more and more as we dive into YouTube. So how are you all beginning to start navigating the different, type of contents that you're producing? You have the meet to marry, you have your general, GMT, gentleman talks, right? Grown man talks. Like, how are you beginning to start kind of differentiating the different communities that are beginning to look into your work?
So with the Grown Men Talking community, when that started, I was able to grow my own audience from that. That audience followed me now doing
So they're
Meet
still
to Marry.
I mean, because they want to marry,
Right.
You're catering to both male and female.
Right, and so when I talk to them. So anything that I drop now, they're the ones that's out there pushing the content to other people. So when I look at my analytics, I see that I had like maybe 400 or 500 shares in a week, and it's them.
Yeah, so it's the initial tribe, right? Okay, you talk about analytics. How important is it for, people who are producing content and getting on these different platforms to be able to look at their analytics, and how frequently should they be looking at them?
You could get obsessed with analytics. I look at
You say you can get obsessed with it?
You can get obsessed with it.
Oh, I can't believe that.
I look at
I'm just
analytics.
joking.
Yeah.
I know. Analytics is like the thing now. You got to know, the data points, right?
You really do.
Yeah.
So without understanding analytics, you can't do this. It's almost impossible.
It's like you're walking blind, right?
How do you know where you're going if you don't know how you're doing? Right? So for me, it's a daily just monitor. I calmed down. It was like my little drug at first.
That's great.
Now I check it at least once or twice, maybe 3 times a day.
Oh, wow. So it was more than 5+ times a day.
No, we're talking about you can ask my wife, it was like 80 times a day.
Wow. 80
Right.
times a day you were checking analytics. What were you checking? Was it a YouTube studio? What exactly was the analytical platform?
YouTube Studios, but I also wanted to make sure how one video did compared to the other.
So you started comparing. So how do you slice and dice your data then? Tell the people, give the people some game because analytics are important. Let's just say that. Maybe not 80 times a day, but how important is being able to actually read your data, and how do you slice and dice that to look at your KPIs, key performance indicators, and your metrics?
So the biggest things you want to look at is your click-through rate. If your click-through rate isn't good, then your impressions go down. So that means YouTube stops showing your videos because not too many people are clicking on it. So once you can start getting people to click on it, you're good. So the main focus I looked at was my CTR. If my CTR was low, that means my thumbnail needed to be better. So I had to work on creating different thumbnails to get people to click on it to allow my content
So what
to
thumbnails are resonating with or helping convert or click-through rate? Do you have to say something on your thumbnail, or is it expressions?
It's more expressions, a little bit of text. If anything, no text. But if you can actually create something to where the story could be told through a picture of what the video is about, do that.
Okay, so how are you sustaining your production company right now? What's your your income model look like?
So YouTube pays for my production company.
They do?
Yeah.
They do? So you're fully
like YouTube, everything that I do with Meet to Marry, it gets funded through whatever I make from YouTube.
Oh, that's amazing.
So like I said, I had a tribe. So my tribe sends me super chats when I'm live stream. So I could make like $3,000 in a day just from doing a live stream.
That's amazing.
And they just keep super chats.
So where do you see yourself at the end? Like, how much revenue would you have generated by end of year? What's your forecast?
Oh my goodness. So just from YouTube alone, right now it's looking like, because Meet to Mary started this year. Last year when I started, it was more mid-year when I started making money, and I ended it with somewhere around like 20,000. This year is looking like I could be over 100,000.
That's amazing, 100,000. That's what's up. So is there anything that you want to tell the people as far as getting them drawn into your community and being able to gravitate to some of the work you're putting out there?
If you're into dating, relationships, that type of content, and you just enjoy clean content, come over here. Come over here.
I love that.
Come to Grown Men Talk. We got you.
Okay, Grown Man Talk. Thank you so much for your time. All right.